Hey DT,
Hey GT,
what time is it?
it's time for another track meet.
And this week's focus is on?
Irvin High School.
And with that, let's begin.
Irvin High School, home of the Rockets, has carved out a distinct legacy in Northeast El Paso since opening in 1959.
Yeah, that's very for our
Yeah.
time. Historically known for its high-tier technical athletes and explosive sprint speed, Irvin was a dominant force in the 1980s and 90s, producing some of the city's most enduring athletic marks.
In the late 1980s, Irvin established itself as one of the fastest programs in Texas. This era was defined by athletes who didn't just win locally, but set records that challenged the entire state.
Yeah, no, they've had some great athletes, and one of those great athletes was Dino Napier. 1988, I believe, was the track season. Napier is arguably the most legendary sprinter in Irvin history. That year, he ran a wind-aided 20.44 in the 200-meter dash at the regional meet in Lubbock, Texas, a time that remains one of the fastest ever recorded by any person. He was a perennial state qualifier and a symbol of the Rockets' golden age of speed. So, wind-aided, what does that mean?
It means that the wind was at your back?
Yeah, no, we actually, in the bigger meets, will have wind gauges out there that are about the 50-meter mark on the straightaway. And races like the 100, the 110 hurdles, 100 hurdles, I believe the 200 also, because you can have that wind at your back and it gives you an extra little bit of burst of speed.
Lift.
Yeah, no. In fact, one of the fastest ever 100 meters was run at UTEP. But I think the wind was like 40 miles an hour at his back.
It helps a little bit.
You know, that's not a legitimate record. Yeah. It'll have an asterisk next to it. But it's still, hey, fast is fast.
So, and then also, hopefully in the future, we'll get some of those devices.
Yeah, we used one this past weekend at UTEP. We took the weekend off of timing, and so what did we decide to do?
We volunteered at the triple jump and the long jump, which was fun.
And so those jumpers, we had somebody that was actually recording the wind for every one of their jumps.
And that is one of the neat things is having the wind speed calculated, but also the field events also has the iPads too.
Yeah, and so they're doing live results. Mm-hmm. Some meets will actually have a video board close to the athletes' competition area that will have whoever is up, their mark, what they did before, different things that they can add.
And that we actually have available, but there's oftentimes at the track meet, there's not enough help to be able to use the iPads and also officiate.
Yeah, so it's it's kind of a juggling act, and so we call it add value, but we want to make sure that we make it a nice environment for people to watch the event and be able to see those times and
successes,
jumps and stuff like that.
So moving right along, in 2009, Miguel Edwards carried the legacy of the rocket relays. He holds modern school records in the 100 meter at a time of 6.62.
10.62.
Or 10.62. And the 400 meters at 48.54.
Yeah, if you're running a 6.6, it's not, you are in a vehicle at that point.
So he demonstrated the program's ability to produce versatile sprinters who can dominate across multiple distances.
Yeah, that combination of 100, 400. Usually for sprinters, pure sprinters, 100, 200, that 400 is kind of rough on those guys. Now, there's been some great athletes in El Paso that, regardless what you put them in, they run spectacular. They're going to run fast
no matter what.
So, Irvin's history in the field events is headlined by the big men of the Northeast.
I love that. The big men of the Northeast.
Specifically in the vertical jumps and throwing circles. So first is?
Howard Williams. In 1989, Williams set a massive city and school record in the high jump by clearing 7 feet 1 inch at the meet of the champions. Decades later, this remains one of the most elite marks in the history of El Paso High School.
Yeah, we haven't had a meet of champions in a while because it was kind of in between district and regionals. But nowadays, that space is taken up by what we call an area meet. And so
that's right.
they'll bring in teams from the area together. Usually for us, it'd be like one 4A and two 4A groups of schools come together, and they send those qualifiers to regionals. So there's kind of ran out of time on those guys. One of the greatest from Irvin High School
You
is
may have heard of him.
Ed Stansberry. I believe he's does TV also here locally in El Paso, or has. Before becoming a star for UCLA football and playing in the NFL, Stansberry was a track and field powerhouse. He won the Class 5A state championship in the discus with a throw of 206 feet. In 1997, he did that. To this day, he is standard by which a lot of El Paso throwers are measured.
That's amazing.
Now, I remember him and
somebody from Burgess?
From Burgess, I think Tony White. If I'm wrong, correct us in the comments.
Right.
Well, but they were at the Andrus Invitational, and their throwing circle is kind of in the corner, and it throws towards the baseball field, which is good ways across the field. And these guys were throwing so far that the discuses wouldn't fly far enough to hit the fence, but they sure would hit the ground and bounce up and hit the fence and scare the heck out of those baseball players. And so, just great throws from Edmund, and those guys in that era, they could get that thing out there.
And I just think it's so cool that we have been timing that long that we've actually seen these athletes perform
and grow up.
Grow up.
Lenny Gerardo, I remember
one
him,
of my favorites.
As a student at McGoffin Middle School.
Yeah.
We coached at McGoffin.
Yeah, and he's where he started.
And so my favorite story is we were coming back from the state meet. Lenny had qualified in the hurdles. And so
my favorite event too.
We were coming off the airplane, and so DT was coming down the hallway, and he's like, "Oh, my favorite coach," and he went right past me, and he was running for Irvin. I was a rival school, and goes and gives DT a hug. She taught me how to hurdle, and I'm like, what?
Well, Coach Armstrong probably was better at it.
DT's a heck
but we
of a
did
coach.
start.
Yeah, no.
So it was fun.
And so, he's a teacher, he's coaching and stuff like that.
Good guy.
We're just happy to see.
It's just fun to watch you all grow up.
Yeah.
It's neat.
And there's been a bunch of you guys.
So
while Irvin is a sprint powerhouse by reputation, the program has seen significant success in long-distance running. Over the last decade, like Aaron Gilliam, in 2018, Gilliam emerged as one of the best distance runners in the city's recent history. In 2018, he finished third at the UIL 5A state. He ran 3,200 meters in like 9:24, and a little bit of change. They can compete not only locally, but also at the state level in the distance events as well as the sprints.
So the more recent standout is Michael Medina from last year. Medina qualified for the UIL 4A Region 1 meet in the 200 meter with a personal best of 22.59. So that's pretty good.
And so, it's kind of been a long season for some people. For us, it seems kind of short. But this is the last.
This is the last high school meet of. I can't believe it's already the last one.
Yeah, no.
And then we have districts.
And so here's a chance to get out to Irvin High School. Mm-hmm. They are competing in the 4A now, which.
They still remain a good fixture with the Irvin Invitational is one of the oldest meets in El Paso.
Yeah, and so it's kind of nice to get out there and see the history that was there. When we first started coaching, the stadium was just so beautiful, and because we came from where if you had 10 rows of bleachers,
You were rich.
Yeah, yeah, that's a fancy school.
Yeah.
And so, it's just,
Yeah, we came to the big city of El Paso.
it's a great facility.
Yeah.
Events start at 2:30, I believe, for the field, 3:00 for running.
And it's supposed to be a little bit cooler
Yeah.
tomorrow.
And for
Friday.
those of you counting,
91 events on Friday. Only 91.
yeah, just 91. Many of them, the first ones are going to be the 3,200 meters, which are distance runners. And they, if you can get out there and support
cheer 'em on.
those kids, they deserve it. Because some of those are going to be future guys and girls going to regional and state.
And state.
Yeah, this meet is kind of the
Get ready for.
district meet. So
Put those kids in where you think they're going to be successful. And
try them out in a new event sometimes. See if that's going to help your team
get those points.
get those points. Figure out that relay combination. Oh, I need to move this guy to the third leg instead of the first leg, and see if that actually works. And so there might be a little experimentation this weekend with some of the relays and stuff like that.
Just come on out and enjoy it.
Yeah, field events are always finals when they do it. So if they're you want to see the high jump, we got the high jump. One event we're not
The
competing
pole vault.
is
Yeah.
pole vault this week.
Yeah.
But we'll
Can't imagine why with all that wind.
Yeah, no, it's probably safer for them not to do that. So let's kind of wrap this up by saying, if you like our videos, make sure you thumbs up, and subscribe. If you subscribe, you'll get a notice that whenever we put up a new one, it'll pop up there.
We're here.
Also, if you don't like it, make sure you put the thumbs down twice. Do that twice. Don't just put one thumbs down. Hit that button twice. And so with that, we'll see you guys out there on the track. Have a great time. Bye.